everyone. Welcome to this short introduction to the Change, Grow and Transform series. Um, so, if you're new to personal development, spirituality, positive psychology, any kind of aspects of philosophy, or the way that we think about who we are and the way that we exist in our world, but you don't quite know what to do next, you feel a bit stuck. You're exploring, maybe visiting places, reading books, doing the oracle cards, or are totally new to this. This program is aimed at people who either have some experience or no experience in personal development, positive psychology, and might be exploring out of interest and curiosity the spiritual path. So it's absolutely pouring down around here where I am today. So I'm in my camper van because I now use the camper van as a sort of office and studio in which to record because the sound acoustics on it are brilliant. So I get better results using this space. But also, one of the reasons that I teach the 30-day change, grow and transform is a lot of the tools and ideas and topics that I share are things that I've explored and discovered and used over the last 20, 25 years for myself through the various stages of my own journey. And I won't go into a lot of detail here, but just to give you some idea is, I had, after the birth of my first son, I had really serious depression. It was more to do with actually the massive transition I'd just gone through in my life because I'd moved around the UK for a few years, working at different hotels in the hotel and catering field. I met my partner and everything happened really quick. We met, and then about a year later, we got married. I had my son and moved in with my in-laws and lived there for a few years. And that comes with its positives. It also comes with its challenges. And as a young woman, it was a massive transition that I've wrote about as part of my master's and a sort of autobiographical piece looking at that stage in my life. But I had serious depression after I had my son, and it was very difficult for me to even just step out of the mindset and the anxiety that I had at the time. It took a few years, really, but it was when I started the holistic journey of really starting to say to myself, I didn't want to be like my mum. My mum had had depression for a long time. She was a single parent, and there was four of us, and she looked after all of us on her own and tried to make that happen at a time in history where, now it's much easier for women, but it wasn't in the 60s and 70s. So she had a tough time bringing us up, both financially and carrying, the weight of that experience. And so I kind of knew that my mum had struggled with their mental health, but also, like many of us in the past, was concerned that that was something that was in my DNA, that it would run through the family. And so I started looking at what the kind of things that would improve my mood and my sense of well-being. And so I got into doing aerobics and fitness again, and explored aromatherapy and started to explore other holistic approaches. After a few years, I decided to do some voluntary work because I didn't want to go back to the work that I was doing at the time. And I've talked about this more on one of my videos on, enjoy the flow, enjoy the process in the 30-day program. But really, I was on a quest to find out what are the different ways that we can do things that improve just the way that we feel. And at that time, I was moving out of depression and anxiety. And so having a good day and enjoying the sun coming out wasn't a part of my everyday lived experience. And anyone that's struggled with any mental health issues, especially serious and chronic ones that we talk about, from a clinical perspective, that can really impact your capacity to just enjoy life, can take a bit of time to get over. And also, when you're in that mental space, it can feel like you're really trapped. So that was over 30 years ago. And I started studying in 95 and started working with clients in 97 and qualified in 99, working initially as a counsellor. And then I did some training in NLP, hypnotherapy, and then went into Reiki and explored healing because of the way that I felt when I was working with different clients. It was also about me learning more of the techniques that help me shift my mindset, move on from the past, and start to create a desired future, even though I didn't really know what that was going to look like. So, a lot of what I share in this introduction are snippets of key topics that now come up in the research that I didn't have access to over 20 years ago. But we now know that practicing mindfulness, meditation, breath work, yoga, experiencing healing methodologies like quantum touch, Reiki, spiritual healing, yoga, yin yoga, dynamic yoga, mindset work, past life work. A lot of these have research behind them where we know that if we start to practice any of these tools every day with consistency, we'll start to actually experience the benefits of that. And I think part of me wanted to do this because I wish I'd have known a lot of this after the birth of my son. I hadn't realized how the transition itself and the massive sort of challenge to my own beliefs and values at the time due to the circumstances were what were going to throw sort of my psyche almost into a new space that I struggled to cope with at the time. So a lot of the work that I've done with people over the years has been either helping them to understand why they've gone into crises, help them develop the tools to reduce that crisis and get more grounded and stable so that they can think more clearly, get more clarity on what it is that they need or want. And if we take a human givens approach, it really is about the basics of once we've got food, water, shelter, and some good connections, we can build on that. But if our very foundations are unstable, then that can make it difficult to progress forward and put any mental energy into creating any new actions, although it can be done. You know, in the midst of transition and change, looking at the way that our minds work and the internal dialogue that we have about our life experiences and what's happening next and what we think about that will massively influence the outcomes. So what I share with you for the next series of this Change, Grow, Transform series is a topic a day. It's usually about 30 videos, but I do bonus videos as well. And each video has the same format where I share a particular topic. I use an oracle card because the tarot and the oracle cards that I've got, like the light seers ones here, they're very colourful and the pictures are beautiful. And, you know, that's the world card. That's you stepping into the next chapter of your life. And you can look at the cards and tune into the energy of the card, the colours, the imagery, and you can start to think about the topic in hand. And what I would suggest is that you just find some quiet space, and it is a challenge to get quiet space, especially if you've got smaller children, whether that is before bedtime of 10 to 15 minutes or first thing in the morning, whatever works for you. But I've kept them short and the video short so that I can talk about the topic, share the oracle card, give you an affirmation to consider and then use and repeat so that you can start to create those new neural pathways in your mind and move out of the old ways of thinking. So you can start to shift the energy on a mental, emotional, spiritual, and behavioral level. And then use the journal prompts so that in that time, you don't have to write all the journal prompts down. You can choose one and work on that. And if you do that every day, the consistency builds up, the new neural pathways are created, the brain is focused on that topic and that area of your life that you want to improve and want to start to see some sort of benefits from, and you may get benefits straight away. I mean, isn't that fascinating? If all of a sudden you do start to feel a shift in your mood and you feel happier and healthier and just more excited about the things that life can bring that you might not even have been able to consider, plan for, or even dream about. And sometimes that's what happens in life. You know, that sometimes things come along that utterly surprise us, that are great, that almost feel magic like. And so that's the intention that I set for you, is that when you tap in to any of the videos, that you're able to resonate with the intention that this is to help you feel good, feel better, feel more hopeful, feel more inspired, and use the tool to connect with the your own inner wisdom and help you carve out a path that could just be full of delightful surprises. It can also mean letting go of the things that don't work, spending less time with people or in jobs or aspects of our work that we don't enjoy, and starting to design our life in lots of different ways. Whether that means utilizing the principles of feng shui and moving your furniture around and changing the color of your porch and putting plants in certain places to open up the flow of abundance, or whether that is doing more yoga so that you can create more flexibility in your body and allow the energy to move through, or developing more of a somatic practice so that if you've experienced trauma in the past, the nervous system needs to experience calming down. And so with this practice, you can add to that with your own mindfulness, your own yoga moves and mindfulness practice. And even just taking a deep breath at the beginning of this and tuning into the energy of the card, the visuals, the colors, and connecting with this principle of putting yourself first, even for those 5, 15, 20 minutes every day, so that you can start to unlock your own abundance, unlock your healing, unlock your sense of well-being, unlock the capacity for your dreams to be much bigger than you can even comprehend. And that's what I want for you. So approach this open-mindedly. If you notice any negative thoughts or negative mindset, look at one of the videos that I've got on mindset. I'm going to be creating a longer one on negative beliefs and values, because these are the two things that sort of underpin the way that we operate from day to day in life. And I know that at certain points in my life, I've been struck by a sort of negative and old mindset that I grew up with, that was imprinted, but also things that I heard. So I've had to practice some of these tools. Like I said, I've used a lot of these. So the idea is that you listen to the introduction, take some deep breaths, at least 3. So we move out of our stress system into our calming, soothing the nervous system. Take those 3 breaths, deep breaths, so that you can feel the breath going into your stomach and feel your stomach expanding. Then tune in. And what I mean by tune in is tuning into your body and starting to notice, do you feel heavy or light? Relax in the chair. If you're cold, get a nice blanket, get a pen, get your journal, listen to the message, look at the information on the card, see what comes to you, and then write down anything at all that comes to you as in relation to anything that I've shared. Then do that every day. And then at the end of the week, I usually do it on a Saturday or a Sunday. Have a look at what you wrote during the week. Have a look at what's changed, what went well, what went better than expected. In what way have your mood shifted in a positive way? And where are you still struggling a little bit? And do this every day for the 30 days. And the idea is, especially in positive psychology, and like I said, there's research behind that, is that you should start to feel a more consistent sense of well-being, even just feeling more upbeat and happy, even if you don't know why, even if nothing's changed at all. But if you have a dream and a purpose and something that you want to build or create, then hold that in mind, hold that vision in mind while you're doing these exercises, whether that is to move to your ideal house, your ideal area, make new friends, have new experiences, maybe you want to be like me, get a camper van and go and explore, or spend more time with family, reconnect with people, anything at all that just makes you feel a lot better about yourself. So, like I said, I've talked about what motivates me from my own past experiences of having depression and anxiety. Fast forward to 2019, I had a car accident that totally knocked me what felt like off any path. I was trying to heal the physical pain, incredible bad sciatica, issues with my hips and lower back, and constant spasms, headaches, pains all over my body, and using whatever tools I could. And at that time, I used Reiki, quantum touch healing, I used sound healing. So I was listening to different sound healing recordings, yin yoga. I couldn't practice full on yoga at the time. Mindset work, breath work, aromatherapy oils. I went through kilos and kilos of Epsom salts or aromatherapy oil salts, Himalayan salts, because they're great, full of minerals, and I put them in the bath every day. Yes, this is full of positive psychology, spirituality, philosophy, mindset work, and more. So like and subscribe to my page, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you're a bit shy and you don't want to comment on the page, you can contact me on mail, gbb555@hotmail.com. Let me know what the program's meant to you, anything you're getting out of it. I know there's a few people that are doing the program now, and they are noticing how it feels when they do this, and that it's affecting their sense of mood. They feel more upbeat, and they're starting to notice that they're feeling more excited and enthused about life. I also offer a 3-session Kickstarter strategy. It's 3 sessions because we can do it just as you start the program, in the middle of the program, which is free here on YouTube, and at the end. I mean, you can have more sessions with me, but I call it Kickstarter because so we can find out where are you at, what's going well, what you're struggling with, what tools in particular might work for you, and how you can design a program that works for you alongside this in your day-to-day life. And then we can create some ways to get you further towards the vision that you have for yourself. So do contact me, or if you want a 12-session coaching program, I've got those as well. Happy to have a 10-minute chat for free just to see what it is that might help, and explore further, and then we can go from there. And most of that's over Zoom because I work with clients all around the world. I work with clients on their relationships, whether they're starting today, in the middle of a relationship, or relationship is coming to an end. And I've worked with clients, many clients, where they are coming out of toxic relationships and that sort of dark side of psychology. But for this one, I wish you well, and I hope you enjoy this journey just as much as I am.